GAC has launched a comprehensive assault on the Australian market with an EV midsize SUV, a plug-in hybrid MPV with 7 seats, and this is called the Emzoom. And although its drivetrain is a little bit more conventional than the other two models, its price is anything but conventional. So before we get a chance to review this car properly, here are 5 things I think you need to know about the GAC Emzoom. Under the bonnet, you won't find anything particularly exotic, like electrification or plug-in hybrids or anything like that. What you will find is a fairly straightforward 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol, which produces 125 kilowatts, 270 newton meters. Nothing particularly exotic, but what GAC says this will do is 6.6 litres per 100 kilometers, which is pretty impressive. It's bolted to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, which, as you'll find on the road, is fine. You get a lot for your money. 14.6-inch central touchscreen. That's got to be the biggest screen in this class, and probably a couple others as well. Fully digital instrument cluster for the driver. It's a little bit small, but it's still fully digital. I've got wireless phone connectivity for both Apple and Android devices. Wireless charging. I've got electric adjustment for the driver's seat. I've got, interestingly, seat ventilation for the front seats, but no heating. Weird. And I also have 360-degree maneuvering cameras. So this thing, that's just the highlights. There's plenty more to it. Panoramic sunroof, for example. There is so much kit in this car included for the price. How much, I hear you ask? I'm glad you asked. This car costs $25,590, which is very cheap. And I guess you'd say about 28 grand drive away, which makes it one of the 3 cheapest vehicles on sale in Australia right now. And there's no variant spread. It's just this vehicle. What you see is what you get. This car has a little 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, bolted to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. One of those things is great, and one of them is not so great. Let's start with the great thing, the engine. It's got plenty of power for a little car like this. Remember, this weighs about 1,300 kilos, so it's very light. It's only front-wheel drive, doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. It's a light little car, and a 1.5 turbo engine is more than enough. It sounds a bit thrashy. Could be a little bit more refinement, a little bit more sound insulation, but the engine itself in terms of function and performance is great. The DCT though just feels like it's a little bit underdeveloped. Pulling away, it can be very lazy to do anything. It kind of hunts around the gear changes a little bit. There's no paddles to tell it to do what I want it to do. So the DCT is just perhaps a little bit underdone. In fact, a conventional torque converter automatic transmission would have been a way better combination, I think. And then there's the ride and the road noise. So the primary ride is excellent. Hit a big bump in this thing and it actually takes it really nicely in its stride. But there's a fussy secondary ride when you're hitting those smaller imperfections and vibrations, and it kind of comes through as quite a lot of road noise, and it really detracts from the otherwise fairly premium, dare I say it, experience in this car. There's nothing really sporty about it at all. There's no S badge on it. There's never going to be a turbo badge emblazoned down the side. It's just a really reasonable, quite fun car to drive. The steering is a little bit light. It's fine. But the kindest thing I can say about it is at no point during the driving experience do you think this is a 25 grand car. It feels a good 5 grand more expensive than that. So job well done in terms of the experience, the fit out, the quality, the driving dynamics, all very, very good. If it wasn't for those few fussy little things with the traction and the ride and the noise. Actually, there's really only one thing that lets this whole car down, and it's these. What even is a Century Kirin 990? I've never heard of that tyre, but it's really letting the whole side down. I think the road noise, I think the traction problems, the slightly fussy handling, all could be solved with a different set of boots. So if you're thinking of buying the GAC Emzoom, do yourself a favour, allow yourself about another $1,000 in the budget, throw those dreadful tyres out, put something, pretty much anything else on this car, and it will sort most of those little niggly problems. That is a very quick look at the new GAC Emzoom. We can't wait to get our hands on this car for a little bit longer to give it a full review, so make sure you hit like and subscribe so you won't miss that review when it goes live. And thanks for watching Car Sales.